Today's class is about bowing to your internal light. Hello and welcome to episode 214 of Namaste Yoga. We're continuing our Hanuman series today with a class on bowing to your internal light. So today I have my special tea with me because I thought I was going to avoid the cold that was going through our house, but I didn't. It's kicking me in the sinuses today. And if you watch tomorrow, no, today, yesterday, when we're filming it, you'll see what's in this tea. It's a special cough and cold uh, herbal remedy brew that I make for Tim and Trinity. And I'm like, yeah, I make this for Tim and Trinity. I don't need this because I don't get colds. And then last night, it hit me hard. So, yeah, if you watch my Living Your Yoga channel on Thursdays, we do Thirsty Thursdays. And I answer your questions, and I do juicing and smoothies and lots of things you can drink. And so watch it to see what's in this tea. It's great for colds. And I have a testimonial for you today. This testimonial is from Vanessa from SpeakPipe, and she's a beginner who's enjoying Namaste Yoga 101. And we love beginners because that's how people find us and find yoga and get started. And it's Tim's favorite episode. So let's listen to this testimonial.
Hi Melissa, my name is Vanessa. I really loved your video Yoga for Beginners 101 on YouTube. I found it under Yoga Yak. Um, I'm a beginner and also overweight, and I loved how you explained what the poses are for, what the terms meant, and also the whole flow of the class. So more power to you. I'm gonna keep doing the beginner videos and then hopefully level up from there. Okay, bye bye.
So thank you for leaving your testimonials at my website at melissawest.com on SpeakPipe. We love hearing from you. And thank you to Squeezed Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I'm wearing a long sleeve black bamboo top, which is super comfy. And then I've got a short sleeve, nice lilac colored top underneath and the gray leggings on today. And they're everybody's favorite. They're nice and thick, these ones. And also thanks to Dusky Leaf for my mat and my blocks. Today, I think you're mostly going to need your mat. You may use a strap or blocks or even a bolster today, but I think you're mostly going to need your mat. Okay, so you can go ahead and rest back, and we'll begin with the teachings for today, and you can receive them as you lie on your back in Savasana. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Just check in with your low back, see if you need that bolster underneath your knees or your knees bent or your feet flat on the floor. Maybe tuck your shoulders underneath you. Make sure your neck is long. And take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And allow yourself to arrive here now. So when Hanuman found out that Surya, the sun, was an all-knowing teacher, Hanuman raised his body into an orbit. And we haven't talked a lot about this yet, but Hanuman has amazing superpowers. So he raised his body into an orbit around the sun and requested that Surya, the sun, accepted him as his student. Surya refused and explained that he couldn't do it because he always had to be on the move in his chariot, because he has to rise and fall in the east and the west, and it would be impossible for Hanuman to learn from him. Well, undeterred, Hanuman used his superpowers again and enlarged his form with one leg in the eastern ranges and the other in the western ranges, and faced Surya again and pleaded with him. Pleased by his persistence, Surya agreed. Hanuman then learned all of Surya's knowledge. Hanuman's phenomenal concentration meant that it took him only 60 hours to master all the scriptures. To have such concentration. Surya considered the manner in which Hanuman accomplished his studies as his tuition fees, but when Hanuman requested him to accept something more than that, the sun god asked Hanuman to assist his son by being his minister and compatriot. So Hanuman is also known as the symbol of complete and selfless devotion to his beloved Ram. And we'll talk about this more in another episode, I'm sure, but Ram was the seventh incarnation of Vishnu and the pinnacle of human perfection. It is said that Hanuman composed the yoga asana, the yoga postures, surya and namaskar, the sun salutations, as a mixture of all the main yoga postures combined with devotion. Namas means to bow or to adore. It was in honor of his celestial guru, Surya, the physical and spiritual heart of our world and the creator of all life itself, that Hanuman created this. So we're going to be working with Surya Namaskar today and reflecting on this as a series of postures of devotion. So here on earth, our primary source of light is the sun, and light is also a symbol of consciousness and self-illumination. The outer sun is a symbol of our inner sun, or spiritual heart. The ancient yogis describe the heart as the only place in the subtle body that knows the truth. The practice of sun salutations is said to unleash the truth of your deeper self within your heart. When you practice sun salutations, it can be a form of reverence and devotion to your own inner light. By showing devotion to the external sun, the creative life force of the universe, you are honoring the light that radiates both inside and outside of your body. So this is a quote from Christopher Key Chappell, who is a professor of Indic and comparative theology at Loyola Marymount University. He says, "As we sweep our arms up and bow forward, we honor the earth, the heavens, and all of life in between that is nourished by the breath cycle. As we lower our bodies, we connect to the earth. As we rise up from the earth, we stretch through the atmosphere once more, reaching for the sky. As we bring our hands together in namaste, we gather the space of the heavens back into our heart and breathe, acknowledging that our body forms the center point between heaven and earth." And here's a quote from Shiva Ray. She says that sun salutations are an opportunity to express our gratitude to the sun. Quote, "All of life on earth depends on the sun. Contemplating the vitality you receive from the elements allows you to go to a deeper level of participation with the movements of the sequence." So go ahead and begin to form an intention of what it is that you would like to receive from your practice today. How could your practice be a form of reverence and devotion today? Or maybe even what is it that you would like to devote your practice to today? So once you've formed your intention or set your intention to devote your practice to something or someone, then you can go ahead and wiggle and stretch out. But just stay on your back. We'll do a couple of warm-ups for your spine, because sun salutations do pretty much include all the types of yoga postures. They have forward folds and back bends and inversions, but they don't have twists or side bends. Really, the one we're doing today don't have twists or side bends. So we'll do that as a warm-up for your spine to begin here. So I'll just get you to take your arms overhead, and if you have room, you can have your arms straight. If not, you can just hold on to your elbows, and then just take your body to one side to do a little Supta Ardha Chandrasana, reclined side bend here. Just to gently warm up your spine with a little side bend here. And the sun is certainly out today here, so it's easy for me to salute the sun today. Feeling the ground underneath you, allowing your body to release into the ground with each breath out. And then come back to the center. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, side bend over to the other side, opening up this side body on the other side. Breathing into your side body. And then come back to the center again. Take a deep breath in and let it fall out of your mouth. And from here, it might be useful for you to take one of your blocks. We're going to do some twists here. So just take a block between your knees so that your hips stay level here. The block between your knees is great for alignment in your hips. So you just press into your feet, lift your hips, lower them over to the left side of your mat, and then take your knees over to your right side of your mat. So you come into reclined twist, turn your breastbone up towards the ceiling. And you want to try and keep your knees stacked one on top of each other and your pelvis perpendicular to the ground. And then from here, you're going to lengthen your legs straight out. You may even be able to hold on to them with your fingers here. So reach out through your heels so you're getting a bit of a stretch in the backs of your legs here. And then you're going to keep your top left foot here and take your bottom right leg straight down. And you can just even use your block here to keep your hip level. A bolster would be better. Or move your block out to your ankle, that's better. And then you can gather yourself all up and come back onto your back, press into your feet to untuck your hips. And just take a moment on your back to allow your spine to unravel. And allow your body to sink back into the ground. Feeling the ground underneath you and all that spaciousness and light above you. And then you're going to take that block between your knees again, and we'll repeat this sequence on the other side. I'm just going to move over to the left-hand side of my mat. So you're going to press into your feet, lift your hips, lower your hips over to the right side of your mat now, and then take your knees over to your left side of your mat for reclined twist here. And look over the right side of your body, looking over your right shoulder. So I just heard my stomach gurgling there, and Joy, she's such a great Namaste yogi and member. She always leaves really great comments on YouTube, and she's a massage therapist. And one time she commented that she said when she hears her clients, their stomachs starting to gurgle, she knows that they're going into rest and digest into their parasympathetic nervous system. So it's always a good sign. So that just made me think of her. So it's a good sign when you hear your stomach gurgling. I just love that comment, Joy. Thank you for that comment. I know she'll hear this because she always leaves her comments. Yeah, the sun knew we were going to honor it today. We got lots of sun for today's class. Okay, now you're going to straighten your legs out, and I'm just looking where I'm going to put my legs because there's a really pokey plant here that already got me today before I started class. It gave me a really good poke. Tim knows because there's one on the other side too. It's vicious. Vicious plants. And then you're going to leave your top right leg here. And you can even take your block and place it right underneath your ankle. Take your bottom left leg straight down. I can feel one of those pokies just right on my big toe, just reminding me it's there. Okay, and then gather yourself all up, press into your right foot, and come onto your back. Oh, yes. Feel your happy spine. This will be great for when you do the sun salutation, so you can really feel the wave of your spine. We're doing this, the sun salutation as it was taught by Vonda Scaravelli today, so it's a little different sun salutation than maybe you're used to because it has a really nice bow in it, which is going to be great for the devotion. You're going to bend your knees, roll to your right side, and come up onto all fours for some cat pose, just to further feel the nice flexibility of your spine here before we get started with our surya namaskar. So you can get started with your cat pose if you want. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and you just exhale and round up through your back, and inhale and arch through your back. And actually today we'll exhale, round and shift back, and then inhale, arch and shift forward, because with the style of sun salutation that we're doing today, there is this kind of movement in it. So we'll start by doing a little bit of that right now. Feel your hands on the ground, your shins on the ground, the tops of your feet on the ground. Feel your spine moving with your breath and waving through space. And then tuck your toes under. Feel all 10 toes on the ground. Even take a moment here just to stretch them out. Inhale. Exhale, reach your hips up towards the ceiling. Stretch out the backs of your legs and Adho Mukha Svanasana. You might even want to alternate your heels to the ground to stretch out the backs of your legs. And then you can walk your feet into your hands and make your way up to standing. Okay, from standing, I'm definitely going to take this black top off in the sun, which pretty much guarantees that it'll go behind the clouds, which will make Tim really happy. Because when you film right into direct sunlight, it's like really difficult lighting situation for videoing. Okay, so we're going to start here. with our sun salutations. And as I mentioned, we're doing them in a style that was taught by Vonda Scaravelli that I learned at Esther Myers. And also taught by Sandra Sabatini. Okay, so bring your hands together at your heart, feeling your thumbs at your breastbone. Take your feet underneath your sit bones parallel, lift and spread your toes. And feel how your feet connect to the ground. Notice how you're connected to the earth. Close your eyes and turn your inner eyes towards your spiritual heart. Filling your heart with the appreciation for what the sun provides you internally, externally, and symbolically. And allow these sun salutations to be a prayer. Feeling a dialogue between your body, the ground, and the vast light space above you. So you're going to start by inhaling, sweeping your arms up and overhead. And then you'll exhale, take your arms back down the sides and hinge through your hips, bend your knees, fold forwards, bend your knees as much as you need to be able to place your hands flat on the ground. Drop the crown of your head and we'll pause here. Inhale, step your right foot back and lower your right knee to the ground. So this is actually Hanuman pose. And then step your left foot back for plank pose. An option to lower your knees here. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, you're going to sit down onto your heels for child's pose. Now, in this version of sun salutations, your palms are supposed to be grounded like big bear paws, and they're not supposed to move at all through the entire sequence. So this is the bowing that is in this version. Bowing to the ground, bowing to the earth, or whatever you've decided to devote your practice to. And in this version, you're going to inhale here. And exhale, you're going to round up through your back, tuck your tailbone all the way under, and come into cobra this way here. Then inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, reach your tailbone up towards the sky for Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, come up high on your toes, look forward to the space between your hands, draw up through your navel, walk your right hand to the space between your hands, lower your left knee and pause here. So again, Hanuman pose. And this is the pose where he kneeled in prayer and petition for help in one of the stories that we'll get to in this series. When he forgot he had his superpowers. And he needed to help Ram. Okay, tuck your left toes under. And you're going to lean back and then step forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to place both hands flat on the floor. Drop the crown of your head. Inhale, arch your arms out to the side, flat back, come up. Inhale. Exhale, draw that light down into your spiritual heart. Pause here. Feeling your feet on the ground and the space around you. Okay, so we'll do the left side again, going at that slow pace before we move with breath. Okay, so inhale, reach up. Slight back bend here, lifting your heart up towards the sky and the sun. Exhale, bend your knees, hip hinge, flat back forward through the bushes. And bend your knees as much as you need to be able to place your hands on the ground. Drop your crown of your head towards the ground. Inhale, you're going to step your left foot back, and we will actually pause here, lowering your left knee to the ground, uncurling your left toes. So here your fingers are spread nice and wide. Your palms are going to stay planted here. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee. Walk your right leg back for plank pose. Option to lower your knees for plank pose. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, sit back into child's pose. And here's where you get to see if your spine's really long enough and your low back's open enough. And your palms are still planted in that same place. Maybe it's tightness in the shoulder girdle. Inhale here. Exhale, you round up through your back. You tuck your tailbone all the way under. So this is the way you get into Cobra in this version of Sun Salutations. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, reach your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Reach your heels towards the ground. Inhale, come up high in your toes. Draw up through your pelvic floor. Draw up through your navel. Look at the space between your hands. Walk your left leg forward. Lower your right knee. Tuck your right toe under, lift your knee so you get that little rocking action going. And then you step your right foot in. Bend your knees as much as you need to so your hands can go flat on the ground. Your crown of your head drops. Feel your feet on the ground. Inhale, come up, flat back. And exhale, bring your hands to your illumined heart. Okay, so that's that version of Surya Namaskar. If you're feeling really like a good laugh, you can look for my first video ever where I actually filmed that version of Surya Namaskar. You can have a good laugh at me. That was, oh my gosh, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. um, so we'll do this again and we'll move with breath without the holds this time, okay? So you'll inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hip hinge forward, bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands flat on the ground. Inhale, step your right foot back. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, sit back onto your heels. Inhale here. Exhale, round up through your back. All the way through into Cobra. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come up onto your toes, walk your right foot through. Exhale, walk your left foot through, hands flat on the ground, folding forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. I'll just pause here and I'll take off my necklace. So take a moment to feel your feet on the ground and connect with your illumined heart again. Before we go to the other side, and remember what your prayer is, what you're devoting your sun salutations to. And then we'll inhale and reach up. Exhale, flat back hinge. Bend your knees to fold forward. Drop the crown of your head. Inhale, step your left foot back. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, sit back onto your heels. Pause and inhale here. Exhale, round up through your back. All the way through to Cobra. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come up high on your toes, walk your left leg through. Exhale, walk your right leg forward. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, draw the light into your illumined heart. Inhale and exhale. Feeling your feet on the ground. Breathing in. Lift your heart up towards the sun. Exhale, hinge forward. Place your palms on the ground. Drop the crown of your head towards the ground. Inhale, step your right foot back. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, sit down onto your heels. Pause and inhale here. Exhale, round up through your back. Tuck your tailbone all the way under until your spine waves up into Cobra. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your right foot forward. Exhale, walk your left foot forward, folding forward. Inhale, come on up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling your feet on the ground, honoring the light within and without. Breathing in, reach up. Lift your heart up to the sun. Little back bend here. Exhale, bend your knees, hip hinge forward. Place your hands flat on the ground. Drop the crown of your head towards the ground. Inhale, step your left foot straight back. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, bowing to the ground with reverence. Inhale here. Exhale, round up through your back. Tuck your tailbone all the way under, lifting your heart. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale. Inhale, walk your left foot in. Exhale, walk your right foot in. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, draw the light into your heart center. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hip hinge forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands flat on the ground. Inhale, step your right foot back. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, lower your knees. Exhale, sit down onto your heels. Pause and inhale as you bow with reverence to the ground, to the earth. Exhale, round up through your back. Tuck your tailbone all the way under. Back bending into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Tuck your toes under. Inhale and exhale into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Walk your right foot in. Exhale, walk your left foot in. Folding into yourself. Inhale, reaching up to the sky and the sun, drawing that light into your heart center as you exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. So last round on the left side, you're going to inhale, reach up. Lift your heart center up to the sky. Exhale, hip hinge forward. Palms of the hands go into the ground. Inhale, step your left foot back. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, lower your knees to the ground. Exhale, sit down onto your heels, bowing with reverence to the earth and all that it provides for you. Inhale. Exhale, round up through your back. Tuck your tailbone under, opening your heart. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, walk your left foot in. Exhale, walk your right foot in, folding forward, bowing. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, bringing your hands back to your illumined heart. So pausing to feel the ground underneath your feet, to feel the light in your heart, to feel the light around you. And to feel that sense of reverence and devotion. When you're ready, we're going to come to do a seated twist and a mudra. Okay, so sit with your legs straight out in front of you in Dandasana. And then we'll do it this way. Bend your right leg in. Lift up nice and tall. Cross your right leg over your left leg. And if you can keep your right foot and right buttocks on the ground, then you could even bend your left heel up to your right buttocks. And if this all stays on the ground still, you can wrap your left arm around your right leg. You may need to lengthen your left leg straight out again. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Half Lord of the Fishes pose. And then come back to the center. Uncross your right leg. Bend your left leg in. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Press your left foot into the ground and your left buttocks into the ground. Wrap your right arm around your left leg. You can keep your right leg long, or you may want to bend your right heel up to your left buttocks, just as long as you can keep your whole left foot on the ground and your whole left buttocks on the ground. Lengthen up through your spine. And then come back to the center, and we're going to come into a seated position for a mudra. And you can sit in whatever position is comfortable for you. You may even want to sit on a chair. I suggested a blanket for seated if your hips are not so open, so that your hips are higher than your knees. So if you need to do that, you can go ahead and sit on a blanket. And we're going to do the mudra for your inner self today. And the way this works is that you place your thumbs together like this, and then you bring the tips of your fingers together like that. And you start it at the level of your eyes, so you can look through that really tiny space between your thumbs, kind of right there. And you're supposed to look through that space until you blink, which for me isn't usually that long. I hate those staring games. So however long that is for you. And then you lower that down to wherever it lands naturally for you. And apparently wherever it sort of lowers to naturally for you is the place where your soul resides in your body. And this the opening characterizes the power of the heart through divine wisdom, and this mudra symbolizes the inner nature of the human being. Okay, so we will do this, and I will get Tim to time this for 3 minutes for us, and have a little poem for. Oh, maybe I'll save the poem for Savasana. So just close your, so you leave your eyes open until you blink, and then once you lower it, you can close your eyes and just focus on long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, so you can finish your practice here, or you can go ahead and rest back in Shavasana. And as you rest back in Shavasana, I have a poem for you by Sri Chinmoy that I thought was reminiscent of the devotion and reverence that we experienced during Surya Namaskar today. Plant gratitude seeds inside your heart garden. Your life will be beautiful and fruitful with glowing deeds. Plant gratitude seeds inside your heart garden. Your life will be beautiful and fruitful with glowing deeds. Rest back for 5 or 10 more minutes. And then gradually allow your breath to deepen. And you can bend your knees and roll to your right side and make your way up to seated. So thank you for joining me for episode 214 of Namaste Yoga. You can leave your comments about this episode on the membership site. I'd love to hear what you think about this version of sun salutation and how it was for you to offer this sun salutation as a form of reverence and devotion. And you could also, if you're not a member, you can leave the comments on melissawest.com. The direct link to this class is the first thing in the show notes. Namaste.